And we're back. You could even say we're so back. So what are our goals for today's session? Well, we'd like to eliminate Naples if possible. They have started to spread up to the north here somehow. So we'll see how it goes. Other goals? We'd like to defeat the Pope now. Not kill him, obviously, but at least drive him out of Italy once and for all. He can continue his existence over in the Balkans, where I believe he'll be amongst friends. We'd also like to fully conquer Sicily as well. The Pope does have a vassal here, this bishopric. But there's also Sicily itself that we'd like to conquer. I'm also thinking about going for Sardinia. I believe the only silver mine in Italy is here in Sardinia. Some of the countries in this location, well, one of them, the big one, is a vassal of Aragon though. So we'll have to think about how that goes. Sicily is also in a union with Aragon, so we're going to need to go to war with them anyway to take Sicily off them. We'll see how it goes. For now, I think we're going to immediately attack the Pope. We're in pretty good situation to do so. Actually, are we? Oh, we can't actually attack the Pope without a proper justification. That's interesting. What would be a proper justification? Maybe a parliamentary CB. Let's try. Let's fabricate a claim. Luckily, we're already in a parliament. I don't normally do parliamentary CBs just because I'm not sure they're worth it. So let's try fabricating a claim on the Papal State. We don't want all of his lands in Croatia, just his lands here in Italy. Let's see, does that count as a legitimate justification to declare war on the Pope? It does, in fact. We are going to lose stability from declaring war on them, apparently because we have great relations, probably because I've been increasing the friendship with the Pope to avoid him forming a coalition. So we're going to insult him a little. See if we can't drive down relations. We'll wait for that to take effect. We'll see if we can't do some things to increase the voting chance for this parliamentary issue. And I guess we'll just wait a few months. Oh, our ruler just died. Well, he lived to be 70 at least. He was the consul of Rome. Died from pneumonia at 70 years old. Pretty good ruler overall. He did a lot better than he did in real life, so we'll expect that at least. Puts us into a regency, which only lasted a day or two. The elective administration. And now it looks like we have a vote to see who is our new ruler. Can we choose? We can choose. All of the potential candidates are people who all have to be peasants, so they can't be a part of a dynasty. So I guess we'll just pick whoever's best. We've got a 32, 39, 71, a 13, 1, 64, or a 68, 44, 76. I think we'll go with him. Who is he? He's Neapolitan, so from the kingdom of Naples. Maybe this is for the best. Show that the People's Republic is truly a universal concept. He is elected Consul of Rome. He's also a bit of a buccaneer. This does mean that the children of our previous ruler now no longer count as members of the crown. But, you know, that's not the end of the world. Since we're a President Republic, we can't make our ruler get married now. A republic does not do royal marriages. We also don't have the option to marry a local person, a local character, so I guess he probably won't reproduce, but it's not the end of the world. We don't really care if people reproduce after all. I haven't been able to reduce my opinion of the Pope very much. He just loves us. He really loves us. So I think we're going to bite the bullet and take the -20 stability to declare war on him. It's going to be a bit of a close conflict, just based purely on numbers. There's 34,000 of us, and then a few thousand of the other guys. But I'm confident we can win. We also have a very large navy, but apparently their navy's bigger than ours. So we'll see how it goes. I imagine that's mainly because of Venice having a large army. We're actually going to put our navy into dock. Hopefully our goal will probably be to peace out Venice and the other nations, and then once they're gone, there shouldn't be anything to stop us jumping across to Sicily. So let's do it. Using our parliamentary CB, we'll declare war. We'll raise our army levies. We haven't really raised our navy levies, so we'll raise them this time. We'll have our standing army, who I'm going to rename to the People's Legion. As we get more legions, we'll probably give them more varied names. We'll appoint a general. There's only 300 of them, so they're not going to be of much use. But we'll merge them with our with our peasant armies. Then we'll begin the occupation of these Roman territories. Rome also controls these guys up here as a vassal, so we'd like to conquer them as well. I'm not sure whether we'll divide up our army to start with. Let's bring everyone down to Rome first of all, and then we'll bring everyone down to the papal capital, and then we'll think about where to send them. I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave a small sieging army here, then take our main army off and go conquer stuff. We'll appoint somebody with a very high admin score so that they can siege faster. Now let's clear up these few Papal soldiers that are around. They've been cleaned up. There was actually a standing army there. We've taken them hostage. We'll probably try to remember to sell them just before the war ends. There's been a landing in the south by allied Papal forces. There's also an invasion to the north. I think we'll deal with the northerly invasion first. Just feels the most appropriate thing to do. We need to be a little careful with our navies because we don't want to get caught by the enemy navies. So as I mentioned, be a little careful. Not careful enough, clearly. Got caught by the provincial navy. We should win this. Problem is, I didn't press that button to make it so all the navies go on the right side, so this side is definitely a lot weaker. But we have so many light ships, surely we should just win. They're mainly using transports, so I don't really see how we could lose. There goes their center, and there we go, we won. We lost a light ship apparently captured one from us, even though we were the one who won. But it's not the end of the world. We can always just make more. We'll garrison our navy for the moment. I'm really scared of the Venetian navy. There's a lot of them. I believe they're mainly galleys though, so light ships are stronger than galleys, but I'm sure with enough galleys, they'll basically drown us. We're going to separate another sieging army to take out this fort here controlled by the Pope. We'll point another general. We'll send our main army off to go and fight. Looks like we're going to catch the main enemy army here. The Venetians, together with the Papal troops and some vassals, try to fight us. But the People's Republic is just too strong. The people send them away, not our problem. Now we're going to split our army. We're going to take one group, the main group south, to fight the enemies that are occupying at the southern part of the country. We'll leave the rest up here to continue sieging this land. Don't want to leave the sieging army too undefended after all. Looks like Provence is bringing some guys over to land navally. This is a good opportunity for us to scoop them up. We don't want them to nab our sieging guys, of course. Whoa. Managed to get them. Not sure where the provincial army is retreating to. I guess we'll just follow them for the moment. Or maybe not, they've gone too far away. I think our sieging army should be safe. Let's link up with this small group of boys we have down here. Now let's go and beat up these Papal vassals who've been taking this land. Another group of guys is coming down. I think we'll split our army up again and we'll send half to go join the sieging so we can avoid the risk of the siegers getting killed. Because we don't want that, of course. We'll liberate this land. Oh, no, my siegers, damn, they got caught. That's how it goes, I guess. It's always horrible. I guess we'll send up these guys back. It's not the end of the world. That's what happens when you're a little too greedy. Speaking of greed, let's see if we can't stack wipe these guys over here. They're sieging down our fort right on the coast. It shouldn't be a problem. Looks like the Pope is also trying to land some troops here. Once we deal with these guys, we'll swoop on him. There he goes. There goes the Papal troops. More Papal troops landing here for some reason. We'll kill them and move off. Somehow the Pope actually beat us with his very small army. I guess they must be mainly regulars. No, they're mercenaries. It looks like the Pope's got his wallet out. The Pope is, of course, very wealthy, as I'm sure you're aware, due to his large amount of money that flows into the coffers of the papacy. So maybe we'll ignore his mercenary armies and instead clean up his allies. Once we siege down this fort, we can merge our army and probably defeat the mercenary armies. Now, we finished the siege here. Perfect. Now this army can actually be used for fighting. There's a provincial army down here, together with a large Venetian one. It's mainly levies, though. There are 200 footmen in the provincial army and 100 footmen in the Venetian one. We should win this pretty easily. Yep, there they go. A lot of war score. We'll pursue these guys and try and stack wipe them. We don't want Venetians or provincials to exist in our lands after all. Looks like they're retreating to our fort down here. Ooh, we were excommunicated. I actually saw this coming. Or did I? I thought there was supposed to be a vote on excommunications. Maybe I missed it. Oh well. Being excommunicated is pretty terrible, but it will actually wear off when our ruler dies, and he's already quite old, so there's a good chance it will just wear off. That's one of the things we have to accept when we go against the Pope. Speaking of going against the Pope, we're going to cross over to Sicily and start occupying the lands over here under the control of his vassal. Time to see about beating up the mercenaries who are still sieging down this fort. Yep, their mercenariness wasn't enough to stop us. I guess we'll focus on sieging down the capital of the Rome, well, the capital of the Pope now. We do need to take this province occupy it before we can take it in the war, because it is the capital of the Pope. We're going to leave some sieges here, get just like last time. Hopefully they won't be stack wiped like last time. And then we're going to go off. What are we going to do? I think we're going to start occupying... Well, we're going to try and occupy Ferrara. That's probably correct. We're going to start occupying them and see if we can't just peace them out of the war. Unfortunately, they're fort maxing, so every territory in their country has a fort in it. But well, what are you going to do? It'd be nice if we could just walk straight to their capital, but we can't because there's too many forts blocking us. I guess we'll split our army in two and have one half start sieging one fort and the other half start sieging another. We don't necessarily need to occupy. Oh, the Venetians again are going for our guys. I guess the Pope's just going to continuously hire mercenaries now and ship them across from the Balkans. Not necessarily my problem, but I suppose it is my problem. Maybe we should try and actually use our navy. I am scared to use them because they're expensive and I spend a lot of money making them. We don't want to really risk them dying, but we're going to deploy them anyway. Well, we immediately make the provincial navy and captured 7 of their ships. We encountered the Papal navy and defeated them, taking one of their galleys. We caught the Frarian navy, defeated them. There's the Venetian navy. We managed to defeat them though, without any losses, luckily. It looks like they've not got their full might here, it's just transports. Our province is willing to peace out. Looks like they've ended up in a war with Austria. No, looks like the Pope has declared war. No, Austria has declared war on the Pope. How devilish. I suppose that's good for us. We can use the conflict to peace out with the various people that are allied with the Pope. We'll peace out with province. I'm sure it won't be long before Venice wants to peace out because they're probably the ones that are mainly going to get hit by the Austrians. There goes Ferrara. Now it's just Venice in the war, other than the Pope, of course. Pope is requesting peace. We'll, of course, refuse. We're not quite ready for peace yet. And we have a few demands we'd like the papacy to meet. If we could only just take this fort. There go the Venetians, finally. Now we just need to take that fort and the war can end. Finally, it took nearly 1,000 days, but we took the fort. All right, what do we want? We want all of your Roman territories in Italy. We'll leave him with his Balkan lands, I guess. Though I am feeling like we should punish the Pope for the trouble he's caused us. We could take a little money off him, but 90 ducats isn't really enough to satisfy me. We could humiliate him, which will give us 5 prestige, but that 5 prestige would decay pretty quickly because we're excommunicated now, which causes prestige to go down very fast. We could ask him to release Croatia. That would mean the Pope loses most of his power, but I kind of like the idea of the Pope being in the Balkans. But maybe we should do it just because Austria, as we can see, is occupying this land now. So by forcing him to release that land, Austria will less likely take it. We'd also demand war reparations. The Pope makes a lot of money, so maybe we'll make a lot of money from getting the war reparations. Do we need to do anything else? I guess we could ask him to revoke some cores on our lands, and I guess that'll do. War over. Croatia exists again, as it should. Led by King Bishop. Wait a minute, where'd our navy go? Did they all die? I must have lost them. There's this bug where like you win battles, but for some reason your whole navy gets destroyed. I guess that's what happened to us there. How dastardly, how devilish. Oh well, I'm sure we'll survive. Just means I need to replace basically my whole navy. I guess we gained a cog that we probably took from somebody. Let's start improving relations with people because we want to avoid a coalition. We've managed to get our max literacy from thirst for knowledge. Where should we go next when it comes to research? We should probably grab men of arms so we can upgrade all of our regulars and levies to it. What else do we want? We probably want to get recruitment laws, just because it gives us another law we can pass. Outside of that, getting some extra cleric equilibrium. Oh, and reducing the cost of the court is also great. Actually, let's get rid of all these. Let's restart this whole process. Instead, let's go down here, grab education of the elite through university, grab sovereignty for the extra crown power, grab rights to the nobility, grab Renaissance court, we'll grab the Republican elector law as well, and the election law. I'm not sure if these will have any, well, I guess they must have an effect. Well, I don't think they'll apply to us because we have rule for life, but we'll grab them anyway. And I guess we'll grab vibrant court as well because we are over our court culture capacity because I accepted Neapolitan and then it grew and grew. When it comes to our one reform, we really want to get the exchange of ideas, but we're just having trouble getting our humanism up to the point where we can actually grab it. You know, one thing we're going to do is we're going to saint our previous ruler. He probably deserves it. He should be canonized as a saint. I don't care what the Pope says. That does give us a lot of prestige. It's too bad we won't be able to get up to enough to become a duchy. We're going to remain a filthy county for the moment, which may last quite a while. I guess we're just going to sit and rebuild our navy. Ooh, we can upgrade our country rank. For some reason, we gained 50 prestige there. I don't know why. I definitely don't know why. Why did we gain 50 prestige? I canonized our ruler. But that shouldn't have given us 50 prestige. I just don't know. How odd. I guess we're a duchy now. Our ruler is still a consul, but he gets a new hat. We can now appoint another rival. I guess we'll appoint Sicily as our rival for the moment. We could actually become a kingdom now if we had enough money, but I'm not sure if becoming a kingdom through doing this makes so we can't form Italy. I don't remember. I can't remember if it's just tier 4 empires, tier 4 nations are being empires that can't form other ones, or whether it's kingdoms as well. Oh well. I suppose I could always save when we reach Thess to become a kingdom and reload if it doesn't end up working and stops us forming Italy, because we would like to form Italy. It would be appropriate for the People's Republic to become Italy. But for now, I guess we're going to rebuild our navy. I bet it was the Venetians that killed them all, even though I beat them in battle. What a disgrace. The Hussite wars have started. The Pope's now trying to excommunicate Austria, probably because they're bullying them. You know what? We'll vote for this. Austria, he's a menace. If anyone should be excommunicated, it's probably the Venetian. It's probably Venice. It's probably Austria even. How goes the Hussite war? Well, Bohemia's winning easily at the moment. I guess we'll have to see whether the Pope can actually rope anyone in to fight for them. Yeah, those war reparations from the Pope are actually paying us a lot of money. A lot of people recommend vassalizing the Pope, but I think it's a little too, gamey because of how much money you get. There's our recruitment law. I guess we'll go for expanded levies. It'll give us a little more peasant levies, and will more importantly push us further towards free subjects. And we like free subjects. The people must be free after all. It looks like Austria took that land off the Pope. The Pope has now been exiled even further south, down into Serbia. Dangerously close to being an Albanian Pope though. Oh well. Also, Bulgaria managed to take Constantinople. We'll probably have to fix that. I think right now, though, we're going to jump Naples. It's a bit of more of an even fight this time, though. Apparently, their total combat power is a little higher than ours, but I don't really trust those numbers. I think we can take them. So we're going to. Naples has a few more friends now because Denmark has joined there, is now part of their union due to a marriage between the Queen of Denmark and the King of Hungary, who is also the King of Naples. Unfortunately, it looks like Denmark's going to be incorporated into their unholy marriage union. So let's see if we can't reduce the size of said marriage union by destroying one of the nations in it. Could we take Naples fully? I don't think so. If we just took all of their land in Florence up north, it would be over 100 war score. So I think we won't prioritize trying to eliminate them. We'll probably just take their southern territories because it feels the most appropriate, and then we'll peace out. Now we finally got the university researched. Now we can choose what we want for education of the elite. Though we'll need to wait a month till we have the money to do so. All right, for education of the elite, I think we're going to go education of the people. Increases the max literacy mainly of everyone except clerics and nobles. What's really important is it increases the max literacy for peasants. Peasants, of course, make up most of the country, which isn't really surprising. And it's quite difficult to increase their literacy levels in comparison to literally everyone else. If we head over to our Peoples tab and we sort by literacy, you'll see the most highly educated people are often clerics, while the least educated are normally peasants, like these soldiers, for example. And of course, higher literacy rates are always better. Each of the pops themselves has a benefit for higher literacy rates, and our overall literacy rate of our country also increases how fast we research. It will upset the nobles and the clerics still, but it'll also push us towards innovation and humanism, which are both things we want. For the people must be able to know things and be smart. Alrighty, it's time for us to make peace. This war dragged on a little because we had to wait for Hungary and Denmark to peace out before we could make any demands. If we really wanted to push it, we could take something like this, but I think we're fine just taking all of his southern Italian holdings. It might actually be a good idea to force him to release some of the nations. It doesn't like we're going to be able to force him to, though. We, of course, can't force him to break his union with Hungary. So I guess we'll just push him up to the north. He can fight with the other countries. In fact, it'd be nice if Nepal conquered the land around here, because then we could just take it off them when we eventually go north. So I think we'll just take this. There, the Republic of Rome has restored rule to southern Italy. Out of curiosity, could we form the two Sicilies? Is that an option for us? It doesn't show up in the list. It might be because we don't control Sicily, and we might not have it might be because our capital is in Rome, of course. which I imagine has an effect as well. Oh well, let's try and absorb this land now. Our rate of coring is kind of getting away from us now. We have a lot of provinces to core, and a lot of unhappy pops in those provinces. Ah, here's rights of the nobility. You can probably guess what we're going to do with rights of the nobility here. We're going to curtail them. It is going to make them a little unhappy, but the maximum tax increase kind of pays off because losing 5% satisfaction essentially equals losing 5% max tax, or because that's how much less they'd be willing to pay. But by getting 10% max tax, we basically counteract it in a weird way. The main thing we'll need to do is make sure that we can find a way to increase satisfaction now. As you can see, the nobles kind of hate being in our country, but honestly, which they kind of should. They are nobles after all, and we are a people's republic. At the very least, now we'll get more tax from them, and we've decreased their power through curtailing them. Once curtailing fully comes online, they'll lose 10% of their overall power. Our ruler died. 66, he didn't live as long as our last guy. So who should we elect as our next ruler? We could elect this Bruno fellow. He's a member of the Emilian culture, which is a northern Italian one. It's actually a Galio-Italian. Galio? Either way. He's not that great. Actually, he's pretty terrible. 2167 as 19, so we'll probably put him dead last as our potential votes. Then we got this guy. He's the son of our original ruler, who's been canonized, so arguably he makes the most sense. He actually joined an order, the Order of St. George, which is always nice. His stats are rather middling, though, except for his military. Who's our last guy? Well, his stats aren't really that good at either. So I think we'll go with their second guy, the son of our first ruler. It's almost like we're some sort of monarchy. How novel. We've managed to get Republican electoral law. The one that appeals to me the most is this one. It is weird that it doesn't increase the satisfaction of our peasants. A republic relies on its citizens to function, and so it's only right that each of our citizens holds the power to vote for who will lead the country. Obtain the privilege of citizenship will also be an incentive for our citizens to be on their best behaviour. This makes the burghers happy, increases how much levies they have, does increase their power a little bit, but also increases levy combat efficiency a little. The rest don't really feel appropriate. A military rulership, landholders, dynastic rule, board of admirals? I don't think so. We'll go for citizenry. We finished our current research line. Where should we go next? Power projection is universally good and applies to a lot of different things. Ooh, maybe we should go and grab this National Assemblies. Reduces the cost of parliamentary support needed, also increases innovation and free subjects. That sounds pretty suited for our current nation, does it not? Is there anything else? We of course want to grab man-at-arms. I think we'll grab man-at-arms now before I forget again. We'll grab man-at-arms. Then we'll grab this cost of court -1. And then we'll grab this other cost of court -1. Then we'll probably go down and grab National Assemblies. And then we'll grab preaching friars just to make the clerics a little happier. We should probably get these early carracks as well. And then we'll grab Chancellery. The Chancellery is pretty good as a building goes, and we can just continuously increase its level. Then I guess we'll grab Power Projection and Autonomy, or Atomy even, for a increased character life expectancy and disease resistance, and we'll see where we're at when that's all done. How far away are we from the next age? We're about 20 years from the next age. We should be able to get all that research before that happens. We're actually going to give out a privilege here. We're going to give out this increased civic engagement privilege, because it increases innovation by 10 and gives a little monthly Republican tradition. It does increase the nobles' power by 50% and doesn't increase their happiness, but I think it's worth it for that innovation. I think it's about time that we declare war on Sicily and finally take all of southern Italy. Milan is allied to them, but they're not going to join this war because they're currently at war themselves. Aragon is, of course, their master and is in a union with them, so we'll, of course, join. We might see if we can grab Sardinia from Aragon, but if we can't, we're not going to lose sleep over it. We are weaker navally, apparently, but I'm pretty confident we can win. So we'll just declare war. We'll try not to lose our whole navy in this war like we did in the last one. One thing that is at note is that Aragon is currently at war with Morocco due to a war of Castile's in. I wonder if we could take advantage of that, them being distracted. We're going to see if we can't land some of our forces over in Sardinia. It's a little risky, but we're going to try it anyway. How strong is Sardinia? They've only got around 600 men, apparently. We successfully landed. Let's see if we can actually take the forts in Sardinia. How strong are the Aragonese? They have around 16,000 men. It's unclear how many of them will be involved in our war and how many will be busy fighting with the Moroccans, though. Suppose we'll find out. The Aragonese actually landed here in Sicily and decided to fight us and lost. How foolish. We'll leave some of these guys to siege and see if we can't catch their retreating army. Ooh, looks like we're going to get them stack wiped. Perfect. All right, we've managed to full occupy Sicily. What would it cost us war score wise to take their whole nation? About this. Thing is though, if we do actually full annex Sicily, we'll actually take their vassals, I think. Yeah, they have 2 vassals, don't they? I don't really want to take them. I suppose we could take them and just immediately release them. They're both monarchies, so we don't really want to be friends with them. I think that's what we'll do. We'll take them and see if we can't just immediately release them. Now, the army I sent over to Corsica actually to Sardinia got completely annihilated, so we'll try again. If your entire army gets annihilated, just send another one after all. How foolish, the Sardinians didn't have a fort in their capital, allowing us to just take it. So I think this is what we're going to take for our peace deal. It's going to leave... Sicily's actually going to survive in this one location here in Sardinia. I'd like to take a little more, maybe take this location as well, but I want to call off the war now, just so we don't get attacked by the Aragonese navy. I'm cautious of those heavy ships, and so that when we come around next time, we'll control this location, and it'll be easier to feed our troops, because they are starting to starve when we didn't control it, and we're about to lose it anyway. So we're going to take this. It's not crazy amount. But the whole point is to not take a crazy amount so we can come back next time so we can take a crazy amount. So there we go. Nice and neat. We'll make sure to bring the People's Legion back over to Sardinia where they can hide out for a bit, and we'll demolish our levy navies and move them over to here. We're dangerously close to having a rebellion by the nobles, so we'll have to stay on our toes. We're also dangerously close to having a rebellion by the commoners. Surely not. Surely the people would never turn our backs on us. Well, I guess we'll need to persuade the people that we are acting in their best interests. And if they can't see that, well, we'll have to get a little aggressive. After all, if we don't defend the people, who will? We've got access to our national assemblies. I think we'll just take it right now, if we can. Where is it? Oh, there it is at the top. I guess we'll have to hold out a little longer to maybe grab this exchange of ideas. How sad. Alright, I think we're going to leave it here for today. The Republic's in pretty good shape. We've taken all of southern Italy. We do have a few rebellions that I'm a little concerned about, but I'm sure we can avoid them becoming a problem. Or we could just let them be a problem and then crush them. For example, this Sicilian revolt that could potentially happen isn't really a big deal. It's only going to take place in 2 locations. Or is it 2? More like 4, 5. Yeah, 5 seems about it. If we demolish this fort, they wouldn't even be able to do anything, and we've just crushed them instantly. So we might just let that happen. We're no longer a county. We're now officially a duchy, which is nice. We could even form Sardinia if we wanted to, though I don't think we will form Sardinia. It feels a little too silly. And this is not a silly campaign. But now I'll give you your choice on a potential vote. You have 4 choices. Do we focus on forming Italy and continue our expansion north into the corrupt Holy Roman parts of Italy, doing war with Ferrara, Genoa, Venice and Milan in order to form Italy? Or is it time that we nip across the coast? Do we head east? Constantinople has fallen. Is it time for us to liberate Rome's 2nd city? Of course, we'll once again encounter the Pope, who seems to have lost his territory up here and now migrated down into Macedonia. How awful. How far will the Pope go? How far will he migrate? Perhaps we'll never know. Or do we go south? After all, to our south live many slaver nations, and our goal is it not to liberate the people? So should we not go to war with someone like Tunisia or Tunis and liberate the slaves from their land, free the people after all? Or should we instead go west, take Sardinia, then nip across and maybe attack Aragon? Well, we're going to attack Aragon to take Sardinia already, but then try and nip across and land in Iberia and restore Roman rule to that part of the world. I'll let you choose. The obvious action, I think, would just be to focus on restoring Italy, not too crazy. We're going to war with Aragon and likely Castile because they are friends. Might not be the smartest idea. The Bulgarians and Serbians aren't that strong, so we probably could just take them both out and restore Roman rule to the province. We will need to form a maritime network in order to ensure that we actually have control in these provinces, though. But that's my problem, not yours. Feel free to vote for multiple options, so it's like something like a transferable vote. But for now though, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching and see you next time.